Our 7 Action News legal analyst Thomas O'Brien is here now to break this all down for us. Thank you so much, as always, for coming in today. So first, let's talk about the topic of the day. Cash, cash, cash. Lawyers talked about a lot of it, $530,000 over 6 years in office. How do you explain that away when 2 years before he never made any cash deposits at the bank, but now you're talking about $530,000?
During cross-examination, the former mayor's lawyer, Jim Thomas, asked whether the IRS agent had considered the income of the mayor's wife, and he had not. And he also asked whether he'd considered cash donations that he may have received, and he conjured up 3 different parties where the hat was passed, and in one of them there was a $5,000 salting of the hat, or the box, if you will, as they passed it. And the agent had to admit they hadn't considered that either. Whether in the end the lawyer for the former mayor can make the math work out so he accounts for all that money remains to be seen.
And that $5,000 supposedly came from Don Barton, who's now dead, of course, so
correct.
He can never testify
Absolutely.
about that. Now let's talk about Tony Suave. He's that millionaire, really, businessman in Detroit with lots of contracts. Now, when the Action News investigators first did a story on him, he said, we asked him about private jet rides for Mr. Kilpatrick, and he said these were just gifts. Now he's saying that he was extorted because he didn't want to lose his contracts in Detroit. Will that fly?
So they're going to have trouble explaining that, and there has to be an explanation. You can imagine that the government's worked on that, and that the former mayor's lawyers will exploit that no end.
Now, what about Kilpatrick's executive protection unit? I mean, they said they had to sweep the mansion for listening devices, to sweep his office for listening devices, when they never had to do that for the former Detroit mayor, Mayor Archer. So, I mean, why would they have to do that now? Well,
apparently the mayor requested it. Whether that was suggested by his own security remains to be seen, but I think that there could be an innocent explanation to that. He had various reasons to want to be secure in his office and the like. So that fact is one of those that could be looked at in 2 different ways, and it depends on how the rest of the picture is painted here as we go forward.
So it seems like you can always explain it away if you have good defense attorneys?
Yes, and you know what it comes down to in the end, doesn't it? It's not 2 versions of reality. It's whether is there a single sole solitary doubt based on reason that would make that jury have to come back and say not guilty.
All right, thank you so much, as always,
My pleasure.
Thomas O'Brien, for your legal expertise and, of course, for your time.